What's the best software to record your online course? In this video, I'll give you 3 different options, both free and paid, and I'll also show you with my third option, my favorite way to record my online course. Let's first talk briefly about how most online courses are recorded and the audio portion. So first, most of the time when you're recording an online course, you're going to want to share your computer screen, and then you may or may not have a video feed of yourself kind of in the bottom corner. In addition to that, you're going to need something to record your audio when you're actually talking. Now, you could use the built-in microphone on like your phone or your computer, but what I would highly recommend if you want it to be kind of a more professional recording is getting any kind of USB supported microphone for your computer. Now, there's 2 different types of connections that you might see. The first one is called XLR, and you don't want that if you just want a simple setup to record your online course. You want a USB microphone. That USB microphone is just going to plug directly into your computer, and most times it's just going to connect right away, and you won't need to do any additional setup to be able to use it to record your audio. The one that I'm using right here is plugged in by USB, and it's called the Shure MV7. It's going to be a little bit on the higher end, but you don't need something like this. You can actually get a really affordable mic that probably works just as good. So over here on Amazon, if you search USB microphone, you're going to see a ton of different options, and many of these are as low as like 26 bucks. Now, yes, some of them are going to be better than others, and I'm not here to kind of review all these microphones, but I think any of these that you get that are going to be even like $30, $50 or more is going to be a huge upgrade from just using your built-in like laptop microphone. Next, let's talk about recording your screen with built-in software. So if you don't want to download any additional software and you just want to use what's already on your computer, I'm going to show you how to do that on a Mac. But also, just as a side note, if you're using a Windows computer, I was talking to ChatGPT earlier. I don't use Windows, but it said that you can use the Xbox game bar that's already built into Windows computers to record your screen on a Windows computer with no additional software. On a Mac, we can actually record our screen with the built-in QuickTime player. So I'm going to actually open up QuickTime Player. And when I do that, it's going to bring up this little Finder window that wants me to open a file. If I actually click the cancel button, it will leave QuickTime Player open up here in the top bar. And I can actually click on the file button and I can click new screen recording. When I do that, it's actually going to bring up this little crop kind of window here, and I can actually crop it in if I only wanted to record a part of my screen. But once I'm ready and I've got my screen selected, I just hit the enter button on my keyboard and it's going to start recording my screen. And this is a little bit confusing. I've used this a number of times in the past, but it's a little bit confusing to know, like, is it recording? There's no like red light going on. How do I stop this recording? It's really confusing, but it's actually up here in the top bar of your Mac. So I know this is probably a little bit darkened because I'm recording the screen right now, but it's this little icon right here. And if I click on it, it will stop the recording. And then you can actually see here, I'm gonna bring this over here, that it recorded my screen with this file. And so this is actually a file that I have on my Mac. And if I play it, you can see it recorded my screen. You see my mouse moving around there. Obviously, I just recorded the background, but I just recorded my screen, and you can just record as you teach. Now, you do want to make sure that you're recording your audio from your microphone somewhere else. So you might need to, you just want to make sure that you're recording the audio somewhere so that you have the audio, but this will record your screen for you. So if you actually go up here, we can click file and then we can click like export as, and we can export the file right here directly from QuickTime Player. And just like that, we have a screen recording. Next thing I want to briefly talk about is your camera feed. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you're just starting out and you're not wanting to invest in any kind of camera, which is what I would recommend for most beginners, I would just recommend one of 2 things. The easiest way is to use the built-in camera on your laptop or on your computer. Now, I think pretty much any laptop Mac has a built-in camera. And then I have an iMac here, which I have a built-in camera on my iMac. And I think most Windows laptops have it as well. But you can literally just use the built-in camera on your computer, and that's going to work perfectly fine. In fact, I've recorded a lot of courses where I don't even use the camera. The reason that I don't use the camera is because I feel like I have a little bit more confidence when I'm teaching, when I'm like going through slides for an online course, if I don't have my camera on. if I have my camera on, I feel like I need to kind of perform and, you know, be on for the camera. So it just makes me a little bit more nervous, and I feel like I don't teach as well. So most of the time, what I would actually recommend for most beginners is don't even use your camera. Just do a screen recording and record your audio, and that's going to be plenty good enough. One of the other reasons I don't like to turn my camera on sometimes is because if I'm recording a course that I might be using for multiple years, that video starts to look dated 2-3 years down the line. If students are coming in and viewing that video and then watching a live stream with me and they see that I look completely different because it's been multiple years, it makes your course feel dated. And so by leaving your video off, your course can not go out of date as quickly, if that makes sense. If you do want to record your camera as part of your online course, as I mentioned, you can start with just your built-in camera, and that's a great option. The next upgrade up from that would just be using your cell phone. Every cell phone today has a really great camera, and you can use this to record your feed. And then in editing, when you're editing afterwards, you can combine your screen recording together with your phone recording. Now, again, what I would recommend investing in, which is very inexpensive, if you're going to record with your phone, is something like this, a tripod. This is a really simple Joby tripod, and I can actually just put my phone right on here, and my front camera on my iPhone is plenty good enough to record for an online course. So I can actually just set this on my desk. You can kind of see it there. And I can point it at me with this tripod. And once I get it framed up, I can just leave it on the tripod and just hit record as I'm recording my course. Now I'll make sure I'm recording my screen, but I'll also record here on my phone so that I have both feeds just like that. If you want to go up another step, you can invest in a nicer kind of SLR camera or DSLR camera. The one I'm using right now that I'm recording on is the Sony ZV-E10. I think it runs like $500 to $700, but you don't need to spend that much. There's plenty of other options that are even more affordable than the camera I'm using. But with my Sony camera and most other cameras today, you can plug them into your computer and you can actually use them as a webcam. And this gives you like a really high quality feed through your computer. So the first option was just using your phone or your built-in camera along with the built-in screen recording software like the Xbox Game Bar or QuickTime Player. And this is kind of that completely free option. The number 2 option is using streaming software that you can pay for like Ecamm Live, StreamYard, or Riverside. These are going to be paid options, but they will make the whole process a lot easier and simpler because they will automatically combine together your camera and your screen recording all within the software. And they have intuitive interfaces that make it really easy to just record quickly. And they also have lots of built-in effects and transitions to make your course look a little bit more polished. Now, the first option here is Ecamm. I'm not currently using any of these softwares, but I have used Ecamm in the past. Ecamm is really good. You install it on your computer and you can set up these different scenes, and then you can just record straight to your computer by plugging your camera into your computer and then just recording your screen from the software. Another option that a lot of people use is called StreamYard. Now, as I mentioned, these softwares are designed first and foremost for live streaming. So if you're live streaming on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere, that's kind of what they're designed for, but they have secondarily that recording option built in. StreamYard is going to be really similar to Ecamm Live, but it's going to have some of its own unique features. But again, you can record both your camera and your screen and your microphone all from one software, and it just makes it really easy to do with just a few clicks of a button. Riverside is another option. Riverside became known for podcast recording, and it's really great because you can do multiple people on kind of one stream, but you could also just record yourself and share your screen similar to how you can do in StreamYard or Ecamm. All 3 of these softwares are really great options, and they're really easy to use. The last option, and the option that I use, is this software called OBS. And this software is completely free, which makes it my number 1 option if you want to record your course and you want it to look polished, but you want to do it for free. So this is a really cool software. Now, my caution would be, it can be a little bit difficult to use. In setting it up to make it really work for what you want, what I do is I go into ChatGPT and I just ask it to walk me through each step. But this is what the software software looks like. And essentially what you can do in this software is you can create these scenes that have different designs. So you won't see my camera here on the screen, but I have a full screen camera preset. So when I click that, it shows my camera full screen. Then I have screen plus camera that kind of puts me in the bottom corner, but shares my screen. Then I have just my screen where it takes my camera off.
And then I have a few other ones here. I created a little countdown that you'll see here when I want to do like a countdown to things. And then I also have like some design type stuff. So if I wanted to share slides, but I wanted my camera to be over here in this green area, this is just like a, formatted design slide that kind of uses my branding. So you can do really cool stuff with this like that. So I've got, my microphone connected into this. I've got the scene set up, and then it also has a recording button over here. So when you want to record, you can see my audio coming through there. When I want to record, all I do is plug my camera into my computer, and then when any of these presets that I have, these scenes that have my camera, it will show my camera on the screen, however I've set up the scene. And then I have my microphone plugged in, and so you can see my audio there coming out, and I have my screen recording set up in here in these scenes. And so anytime I'm ready to record, I just hit the record button right here, and then I can just start recording whatever I want. So this is a really great way to record your online course, because like the other softwares I talked about in step 2 with Ecamm and StreamYard and Riverside, this essentially does the same thing, but it takes a little more setup, it's a little more tech heavy, which is why you have to really take it step by step with something like ChatGPT to kind of walk through it. Now, if you want me to record a full tutorial on how to set up OBS to for like recording courses and live streaming and different things, I'd be happy to do that. Just leave me a comment down below and let me know that you want to see that, and I'll make that video. But this is a great way to do it. There's a ton of settings. If we go into settings, you'll see like there's just a ton of different stuff here. And a lot of times it's just really confusing because it's just a little more technical than some of the other softwares. There's also a bunch of plugins that you can put in here to do different things. You don't need any of that for like the basic setup, but I think this is a really great option. If you want it to be a little more professional, you want to kind of format it, use your branding, I think OBS is a really great option. And again, it's free. The last thing I want to briefly show you, if I can get it into frame here, is my Streamdeck. I have this little contraption right here called a Streamdeck that sits on my desk. If you want to kind of go to the next level with live streaming, recording courses, different things, you can get this little Streamdeck. I don't know how much it is. I'm assuming it's probably $100 or so. And what I can do is I can actually control my scenes in OBS with that Streamdeck. So I can click on, you can see if I click a button on here, you can see it changing on the screen to the different. And so this is really cool because I can go from full camera to my screen sharing to the formatted one, like just by clicking buttons on my Streamdeck. So I don't actually have to use my mouse to click anything. And so that's kind of like the next level. If you really want to go kind of the next level, I'd recommend getting one of these little contraptions right here, a little Streamdeck. If you enjoyed this video today and you got value out of it, hit that like button for me. It really helps me out in growing the channel, and also consider subscribing to our channel. I'll see you in the next video.